Hello students, welcome to the SRBPS virtual classroom program. I am your biology educator Prerna Rathi.
So students, let us now start today's class. Today we will be learning about anatomy of flowering plants, which is chapter 5 of your NCERT textbook. What do you mean by anatomy? Anatomy is basically the study of the internal structure. If it is of plants, then it is anatomy of plants. So we are going to see that what are the internal structures, what is the cell type, what is the tissue type that is involved here. What do you mean by a tissue? Tissue is a group of cells which has a common origin and can perform a common function. We've learnt in smaller classes already that there are two types of tissues, the meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. The meristematic tissues are those which show growth in plants. They are largely restricted to the active cell division regions known as the meristematic region. There are three types of meristematic tissue: the apical meristem, intercalary meristem and the lateral meristem. As you can see in this diagram, the meristematic regions are clearly shown here. There is the shoot apical meristem which leads to the formation of shoot further. There is ground meristem which forms the inner portion. There is procambium which is going to form the cambial ring. There is a bud, axillary bud primordium which will lead to formation of the bud further. Can you see in this particular diagram? The growth is done both the sides. The intercalary meristem is responsible for growth of the internodal area. The apical meristem increases the length and the width of the shoot. The lateral meristem is responsible for increasing the girth, the चौड़ाई, जो stem की गोलाई होती है, that is increased by the lateral meristem. Let us now discuss the permanent tissues. Structurally and functionally specialized tissue which are not able to divide further are known as permanent tissues. Having all cells similar in structure are known as simple permanent tissues, and the ones having different types of cells are called complex permanent tissues. The simple permanent tissue has further been divided into three types, that is the parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Can you see? Parenchyma is basically isodiametric, either spherical, oval or round, polygonal, elongated but isodiametric cells which have very thin cell walls, which is cellulosic. They are closely packed and they have intercellular spaces, and it can perform photosynthesis, storage function and secretion function. Then we have collenchyma. As you can see in this particular diagram, collenchyma shows the thickened corners. There is lignified corners are there. Fine. Below the epidermis in the dicot plants, lots of collenchyma is present. It is homogeneous layer, or it can be in patches also. Somewhere it is present, somewhere it is not. Cells are thickened in corners by cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin. It contains chloroplasts, that is why it is called chlorenchyma, and it is photosynthetic in nature. Obviously, intercellular spaces are absent. It is responsible for providing the mechanical support to the plant. Last is sclerenchyma. Long narrow cells which have thick lignified cell walls. These are dead cells. They don't have a living protoplasm. They are dead cells, unlike parenchyma and collenchyma. This is one type of sclerenchyma called the fibers. They are thick walled, elongated, pointed cells. Can you see the lumen here? There is nothing inside that lumen. There is no protoplasm and there is no nucleus. That means ये cells कैसे हैं? Dead cells हैं. Then we have sclerids, which are again a type of sclerenchyma. They are spherical in shape, oval, cylindrical. They are highly thickened dead cells. इनका lumen जो अंदर की खाली blank space होती है वो बहुत कम रहती है. They are present in fruit walls of nuts, pulp of fruits, seed coat of legumes, leaves of pea plant. They provide mechanical rigidity to the organs. Can you see? The lumen is so thin. There are pits present and the cell wall is very thick. As you can see here, there are various types of cells that are shown here in sclerenchyma. Very slightly slim lumen is given. Now let us discuss the complex tissues. Complex tissues are those permanent tissues which are made up of more than one type of cells. They always work together as a single unit. Two important complex permanent tissues in plants are xylem and phloem. Let us discuss the xylem and phloem one by one. Xylem first. The conducting tissues for water and minerals from the roots to the stem and leaves of the plant is known as xylem. It has mechanical strength and provides the rigidity of the stem to the plant, and it has four kinds of elements: tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. Let us see the tracheids first. As you can see, they are elongated cells which show the presence of pits on its surface. Then there are vessels which show. Then we have xylem vessels which have the lignin rings inside, if you can see, or lignin spiral inside, so that the shape of the vessel is maintained. The xylem parenchyma is another component which is responsible for storage of food, etc. It has cambium, vessels, parenchyma, tracheids. All together are arranged in such a pattern in order to form a proper xylem. Can you see all the components? Tracheids are there, which shows the presence of pits. Then pits are present in the vessels also, and this is the xylem parenchyma, which is supportive in nature. Let us now discuss the phloem. Transport of food materials from leaves to all the other parts of the plant occurs with the help of phloem. So phloem is a tissue which conducts the photosynthetically prepared food throughout the plant. The phloem is composed of again four components: the sieve tube elements, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. Let us discuss them one by one. Sieve tube elements are long tubular cells which are arranged longitudinally. Their end walls, जो उनकी नीचे वाली walls होती हैं, they are perforated to form sieve plates. छन्नी की तरह sieve plates बनाती हैं, having cytoplasm and they have a large vacuole without nucleus. Their functions are controlled by the nucleus of the companion cells. So their functions are controlled actually by the companion cells, which are specialized parenchymatous cells. Sieve tube elements and companion cells are together connected with each other through pit fields. So pits of companion and pits of sieve tube are continuous. They help in maintaining the pressure gradient in the sieve tube cells. The phloem parenchyma again made up of elongated tapering cylindrical cells which have dense cytoplasm and nucleus. The cellulosic cell wall is there. It has pits which help in forming the plasmodesmatal connections. Then they store food and other resins, latex, mucilage, etc. I told you their function. Parenchyma function is storage of food, and phloem parenchyma is absent in the monocots. Phloem fibers, or also known as the bast fibers, are made up of sclerenchymatous or dead tissue. They are absent in primary phloem because primary phloem is dividing and growing, तो इसमें कोई dead tissue नहीं होता है. Elongated होते हैं cells, unbranched रहते हैं, and they have pointed needle-like pieces. They have thick cell wall, and at maturity fibers lose their protoplasm and become dead. Phloem fibers of jute, flax, hemp are commercially used.
I hope you all understood what I taught. I suggest you all make complete use of the YouTube channel to enhance your learning. So until next time, goodbye, take care.